In the port city of Trieste, near the Adriatic Sea, stands a building that once processed rice. And today it processes something completely different. It processes memory. This is the Risiera di San Sabba, the only Nazi concentration camp in Italy, equipped with a crematorium. And though it lies outside the spotlight of Auschwitz or Dachau, what happened here was no less horrifying.
Originally built in the early 20th century, the Risiera was a rice husking facility and a warehouse on the outskirts of the town of Trieste. But everything changed in 1943. After the fall of Mussolini, Nazi Germany seized control of the northeastern Italy and formed an operation zone, placing Trieste under direct German military occupation. Here, the SS and Gestapo quickly repurposed the Sierra into a police detention and transit camp, a place of torture, execution and deportation.
Between 1943 and 1945, thousands passed through these walls. Some were partisans and resistance fighters from across Italy, Slovenia and Croatia. Others were Jews targeted under racial laws and rounded up for deportation.
So I have to be very careful here with filming and talking, because you can only film for private use. And I want to share this story with you guys, so yeah, it's going to be a different type of video. So where we're standing now, this is the commemoration room or hall. And here as well you can see, "Dear Mother, I'm writing to you to say I will be shot today, so goodbye forever. Dear Mother, goodbye. Dear Sister, goodbye. Dear Father, goodbye." So resistance fighters and partisans were here, killed here, but also Jewish people. And yeah, you can see some of those Jewish language, Hebrew on the walls here. There's a lot of commemoration plaques on the sides here, even more on this side. So I'm trying to get as much footage as I can, but it's actually a crazy place. It was a rice mill, right? It was laborers worked here, and the Nazis turned this into a death camp. And yeah, it's the only one in Italy, which is really bizarre, that you can just walk here. And while I'm talking to the camera, I'm walking out into the courtyard. It's bigger than I expected. The high walls as well around it. So here, this is where the crematorium stood, on top of these metal plates. There it says trace of the crematorium shown by metal paving. So the crematorium was standing here, literally in the middle of the courtyard, which is crazy. And the panels, metal panels, are following that way, and I think that would be where the chimney stood, but I am not sure. Yeah, and it was indeed where the chimney stood, blowing the smoke of the bodies, the dead bodies, into the air. So it got me a little bit thinking, so if the crematorium was here, in the middle of the open space, then would all the prisoners have been stuck in their cells? I don't know. Let's find out if we can maybe find something about that. There you have also some text and a tombstone or a memorial plaque for the victims. It's also in Hebrew on it. Some flowers and a candle as well. You can see on the side of the building that the crematorium was built this way, so there would have been a big building here where the crematorium was. You can see that especially on top of there, that the building was linked to it. And it's just crazy to stand here to see where the chimney as well was, which would blow out the smoke of the human remains after they were burned. So here in the room of crosses, it's so dead quiet here. But here, articles pillaged by the Nazis from Jewish houses in Trieste. These are things that the Nazis would have stolen from the Jews before they got murdered here in this camp. And this is a jar with soil of Jerusalem. That's something you don't see every day. Probably people had that at their homes only when they were visiting Jerusalem, and that got probably taken away as well. And here are some everyday items that was used by the people who eventually got murdered here. So if we turn this way from the courtyard, we are going to the cell blocks. Here, the cells. So these cells are very, very small. Very, very cramped. Here. Yeah, it's a little bit too dark, but that's actually insane how small it is. Here you can see as well 2 bunk beds. That's the top layer. And over there is the bottom one. It's really hard to see on camera. Man, that's really, really tight. Here you can see it a bit better with the bunk beds. I don't know how many people would have been in here. But I think, from my experience being in concentration camps, there would probably be like 4 people in there, maybe even more. Even though you can just fit 1 person on there, and maybe 2 really, really cramped up next to each other. And then you have no room, you have no space. This is how big my hand is, compared to how tight it is. And then next to it will be more people next to it as well. So here we had the cells block with the crematorium in the courthouse, but if I go in here and turn right, this is the death cell.
Most were held here briefly, interrogated, tortured, and then either executed on sight or they were sent to Auschwitz, Mauthausen, or other death camps. We don't know the full number of victims, but estimates suggest that at least 3,000 people were killed directly at San Sabba, often by shooting or clubbing in the back of the head. Their bodies were burned in the camp's crematorium, which was installed in 1944. This was the only crematorium built in Italy by the Nazis during World War II.
So behind me here, this is the death cell, and I didn't want to talk inside the death cell because some horrifying things happened here in the death cell. Clubbing to death, shootings, hangings, like most of the dead people were killed in this cell. It's absolutely insane, so I did not want to talk while I was in there, just out of respect. But man, what a eerie place. It is a really special place because it's the only real concentration camp with a crematorium here in Italy. And it's just on the border of Slovenia and close to the sea here in Italy. And man, what a place. A former rice mill with around estimate 2,000 to 5,000 people died here. So roughly around 4,000 people died in this area. But man, here. So here on the left is the death cell. And then here you go back into the courtyard. Okay, we're going inside to the museum and I'll see what I can film here. Just next to the crematorium. So the concrete walls they built then after the war to turn it into a memorial. And this is what it looked like first. It was way bigger. These buildings are not there anymore, all these see-through buildings. And the red ones here, together with the chimney, those were destroyed by the Nazis when the Allies came closer to them. So those buildings are away, so that courtyard wasn't as big and open as it was now. But the Nazis destroyed it, and that's the extermination part, just to destroy the evidence. And then these big buildings weren't there, are not here now. There are just concrete walls all around it to turn it into a memorial. So this image here on the wall portrays a very well image of all the concentration camps and labor camps that were used by the Nazis. So you have very famous Buchenwald, Mittelbau-Dora, Wewelsburg, Arbeidsdorf, Bergen-Belsen. You have so many, Sachsenhausen. But if you go all the way down here are we now, San Sabba. And here is a picture drawn from the camp, one of the prisoners of the camp here. His name was by an Alpino soldier, Sergio Bonetti. He was imprisoned here in April 1945. Wow. Just before the war ended. And here's some more stuff of citizens and Jewish people who were murdered here, some belongings. And there you can see a clock with Hebrew inscriptions. Come on, focus. There we go. Here you can see it. And a letter of German, der Obstfelde Romifar in der Operation Hoeftenland. So this is a copy of the club found in the rubble of the crematorium building, which was destroyed by the Nazis. And this is a copy of that. And man, they wanted to destroy all the evidence, right? After the war. Some people were clubbed to death with this weapon. Of course not this one because it's a copy, but the original ones. Just a wooden handle with a steel beam going out with a steel knob. Wow. And here we have some ashes from Auschwitz, which was not from here. Oh sorry, let me focus with the camera. These are ashes from Auschwitz as a gift to this museum to put it in. Actually human remains.
The crematorium stood inside a small annex building. Survivors spoke of the smell of burning flesh, of the thick black smoke rising above the city. As the Allies approached in 1945, the Nazis destroyed the crematorium with explosives in an attempt to cover up the evidence, the same as what the Nazis did in Auschwitz. But the memory could not be erased. Today in its place stands a metal outline, stark and symbolic, showing where the ovens once were in the 1940s.
So we are going to leave this concentration camp now. It's actually very, very impressive. It's so small, but you can still feel that you feel the emptiness, and at the same time you feel so many people were here and also got killed here. It's actually a little bit of a weird feeling. But yeah, we're passing now the commemoration room again, and yeah, I think it's time to leave this place. I'm so happy that I came here. It gives me again a perspective that not everything only happened in Poland or in Germany. It happened also here and on other places during the Second World War.
In Trieste, a rice mill became a death camp. And today that building speaks louder than ever for those who never had a chance to. Okay, so we left the concentration camp now. It was a little bit hard to film because yeah, I didn't want other people to be bothered, and filming was sort of half restricted, half not. But it's actually a must visit to, if you are in the area, to see this for yourselves. Because yeah, it is so weird. It's in the middle of a industrial area, because yeah, the rice was produced here of course back then. So it's a really weird location, but they preserved it very, very well, and some good information is there to read and to learn about. So yeah, I'm sorry if the video was a little bit, yeah, not as normal, but yeah, most of it I'll talk here in front of the on the parking spot, because I didn't want to talk in there a lot for the camera. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to support my work, I have a Patreon, so I'll put a link in the description so you can support me there. And we got the former concentration camp behind us, the memorial place now, and we'll close the video with that one. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Salute.